Good evening, everyone. This is Tom Miner again. This is day 22 of my 30-day fast. No longer an attempt. This is going to be the real deal. Okay, so today, what I'm going to do is what I should have done yesterday, but just so you'll know, there will not be a day 21 if you're looking for the video podcast because of the weather. I couldn't get out the house, and there was the one time that I left the equipment here that I normally record with. So today I'm going to go ahead and go through a demonstration of what progress I've made since that last video, which was about 10 days ago. So if you look on January 9th or 10th, you'll see the last time when I doing what I'm doing right now as far as standing up and walking and stuff like that. So I was talking to a friend and they said, "Man, you've been going 22 days without eating?" I said, "Yeah." And I got the bad breath to prove it. Because one thing about fasting, it creates extremely bad breath because of the food burning on the inside. But also too, after 22 days of fasting, I think it'd be hard for a person to fake that. Especially if you got like video evidence like I got here. So you'll be able to see, hopefully, a change in the person. And especially with this physical immobility that I have. And so, we'll see what happens now. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up, do my little jumping jacks that I did last time. And then after that, I'm going to walk back to the vibrotherapy machine, and we're going to get on that and spend a little time there. So you'll be able to look and see whether or not you see any evidence of things getting better or worse or staying the same. So here we go. The first part is standing up. And 1 and a 2 and a 3. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think if you look at last time, that's much better. So and also too, this is like the third time that I've had a significant movement today. So a couple of things. That always help. I need to do 100 of those, but I'm only going to do a few for right now. So, like I said, this is like the third time that I've made a significant attempt to actually walk. But we'll see how it looks here. Probably the biggest thing is I'm able to stand like this. Because being able to stand, now that I'm relearning how to walk, really aids. Yeah, this is coming together. I think it's just going to take me actually being a little bit more physical active before I can make this a smooth walking transition. Okay. It always helps when I grunt a little bit too. So. Okay. Now, I still can't get on this machine by myself yet, but, it is what it is. Okay. Thanks, Tim. A big thanks to Tim. Okay, so hold on for a minute, Tim. Let me turn it up. I got to turn this baby up. Somebody was using it. I don't know who it was. Can you put it on there, Mike? I don't know if you can see that, but I normally go all the way up to 50. Okay, so 50, that's the top speed. All right, I got it, Tim. So basically, I can do it with one hand. That's my right hand. I can do it with the left hand. I can do it with the right upright. I can do it with the left. I can do it with this one. I can do it with this one. So I think definitely for me and Tim over here, we know that's a big progress. You know, one thing about doing this, you guys look and you might not think it's a big deal, but for us who have been through the journey, it's nothing short of a miracle. So let me show you this here. Don't want to show you too much of my stomach, but either way, this is progress. There's no way I was able to do this even a month ago. At least not this smooth and with this little effort. And even when I did do it, I just wasn't able to stand upright and hold it. So I'm convinced, so hopefully it'll happen within these next 30 days. I'll be able to stand on this thing hands-free. But right now, I'm just happy to be able to do what I'm doing. So we'll stand here a couple minutes. I want Dr. Valenzuela to see this. It does take a little effort though, because like I said, I've been up, like, this is my third time. Okay. Little side to side action. I can't bend too much, but I can bend a little bit, push myself up, go all the way up. But that's usually most of my arms. But I do feel it engaging in my legs though. It's a great machine. I'm not, you know, I discovered it through a doctor that I was using. He was according to my wife, he was a witch doctor. But he did with herbs and stuff like that. He actually introduced me to fasting as well. But he was big on juice fasting and green smoothies. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end and head back in there now. I'm going to kill that thing. Okay. So now, for the dismount, another 10. Okay. I tell you what, the biggest improvement to me is just being able to stand, even if I have to balance myself with the walker. That's a big improvement. So I'm gonna grunt so I can get some better steps. One. It helps to have a strong upper body. Okay. Now for the touchdown. The eagle has landed. Okay, well, there you have it. And like I was talking to a couple of people today about different aspects of this fasting. One conversation I had with a friend, and I was telling him I was going to do this today. And I said, you know, one thing about you visually observing me and comparing from last time to this time, you should see some difference. I mean, just in me standing up, to be able to stand up without bouncing, that's only going to get better. So it'll be smooth, then eventually hands-free. I think by day 31 or day 30 or January 31st is when we'll do this again. I think you guys are going to be really like, maybe there's something to that fasting. And I'm telling you, there's something to it. Even if you decide to do it for reasons that are not really health related, but if you want to deal with your immune system, if you want to deal with your mental cognizance, if you want to deal with stem cells because you got other things going on, I think for people to maybe fast, maybe 1 to 3 day, well, do a long fast, say 3 days, right? Even one time a year. I think the difference is that you just notice it like immediately. And also during the fast itself, you know, you feel yourself just totally taking control. Each time you say no or you go to bed without eating, it just increases your self-discipline. And, you know, like I was saying earlier to another friend, I mean, if you got something going on, you know, whether it be physical or non-physical, and you want to deal with it, why not try fasting? I mean, it won't cost you anything. Well, let me put it this way. The price that you'll pay will be the price of gaining additional self-control and discipline. And I think that's a price that a lot of people will be willing to pay for something as revolutionary or impactful as fasting. And, oh, I didn't mention this. I need to mention this. What got me on this journey, this 31-day fast, was strictly the medical benefits that I've, YouTube and other sources have shown me about fasting, right? And because of what I'm dealing with, which is primary progressive multiple sclerosis, there was really no treatment except for one thing that I'm doing now. I don't know if it's experimental, but I know it's pretty expensive. Thank God for insurance. But it's called Ocrevus, right? And it's something that I do every 6 months. As a matter of fact, I got a treatment tomorrow. But what it is, I go in there and they get an IV, and you know, I sit there for 2 hours while the IV just drips and drips and drip. Now, what that's designed to do, according to the doctor, is just stop the progression of the disease. So it's not going to, supposedly it's not going to reverse it or do anything other than stop the progression. Here's something funny. I need to tell you this, right? When I went to see the doctor early on, you know, he was going and he with a pencil, right? So an initial test, the doctor asked me to squeeze his head because I couldn't really squeeze it. But I think it may have been about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe even longer. But it was after I had, fast, right? Because I've been fasting now for like 5 years. But this is probably at the point when I've done a long one. And I was telling him, doctor, I feel better, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, Tom, you know, once you have something, it's hard to get it back. So I said, well, stick your hand out. Let me see your hand. So he held me his hand, right? So I grabbed it. I started squeezing and squeezing and squeezing to the point where he said, that's enough, let go. This is the guy who just told me that there's no way that I could reverse any of the damage that was done. Now, I'm not saying nothing except for the ability to use my right hand is his back, right? My right leg, as you can see, I'm able to stand balancedly. And I think for sure by the 31st, I'll be totally surprised if I'm not able to stand totally hands-free. So that would suggest that maybe some of the things can be reversed. And then also too, one of the ways that they detect multiple sclerosis is they do a MRI, right? And so for mine, at least initially, there was lesions on my back of my spine here, or back of my neck, and also on my spine. And he also saw dots that was in my brain on one of the MRIs. No more dots in the brain. There has been no active lesions or anything in my spine and my cervical. And in the last one, he said it looks like there's even maybe been some diminish of the lesions. So at some point, I don't know if it'll be during, it probably won't be during this 30 days, but I will be doing another MRI because we have to space those out. And I'm curious to see what that one will show, especially, you know, if my projection is correct, that comes the 31st, I'll be able to stand without holding on to anything. It's just been a good ride. I just don't know what else to say. Again, I'm going to show you this book. This is a good one. I've been reading this. And one thing about reading this, which is, you know, not a big deal, but it is a big deal for me because I got to the point where it's hard for me to focus and read, right? You know, most of my books that I've ordered so far has been on Kindle. And that Kindle, you know, is on my tablet. And so naturally, you know, it's so easy to go to a social media, you know, TikTok or YouTube or LinkedIn or something like that. But with fasting, you know, now, you know, I got the ability to really focus and concentrate on reading because this book is, even though it's good, some of the concepts might be kind of difficult to understand. But I'm telling you, I'm just trying to impress upon you how impactful this fasting has been, like so in a round circle as far as health, mental cognizance, patience, concentration, and, you know, no eating. So, then the last thing, then I'll let you guys go because I know I can run on too. To be able to be this much in control of your entire self is something that I don't think I ever experienced. You know, I've been controlled because you know, I've ran a marathon, I've completed post-secondary education. But this is a whole new level of control. And I think it's going to be illustrated even more so in these next couple of days, or the next 10 days or 8 days until the 31st. Because I'm going to push myself a little bit harder than I've been pushing because I really want to end in a way that's significant. And that when you look at these videos like day 10 and today and the last day, it'll be very little doubt, if any, that there is something unique and probably reformative about fasting. And the last thing I want to say is that if you're thinking about trying this, what I would suggest to you is to go slow and enjoy it, because I think the more you try fasting, the more you'll see how natural it is and how easy it is for your body to accept it. Because I'm still kind of floored by me being 22 days into this thing and feeling now more vibrant than I did on my first day going into it. It's worth spreading the word. So if you know anyone who can benefit about this, especially someone's going through any type of chronic disease or just want to get some self-control, tell them to take a look at it. I mean, look at mine. There's a lot of other videos on fasting and stuff like that. And I think when you start adding up all the information, it becomes easy to take action. So please subscribe, like, and forward it to anyone who you know that may be looking for a way that don't cost them anything except for discipline to be able to change things in their lives. Tom Miner, see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye. Day 22.